Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Coach Oak Show on Coach Oak TV. It's today, and you know what that means. It's time for another draft league battle. This is SOS semis, and unfortunately, my recorder just didn't really save the game. So it just finished, but we're gonna re-record here over the postcom. So I do apologize that this is not livecom because we like livecom here, but it's okay. We decided to lead Charmander no matter what in this game. He led Ducklet in our first week one matchup, and Megatyler beat me pretty darn bad. Not gonna lie. So we were kind of hoping that we could potentially catch Ducklet for Thunder Punch here with Charmander, or set up on something a little bit and see what happens. But it is what it is. Bonsley's probably the worst thing I could have seen, even though it is a fairly obvious lead. It's not particularly something we wanted to see. We have Flare Blitz, Thunder Punch. Why don't I remember the other move? And Dragon Dance. Why am I absolutely blanking on this? Brick Break! Brick Break. Brick Break. So if I Brick Break, there's a chance I pop his Berry Juice if it goes below 50, which isn't great. So basically, I want to make sure I pop the Sturdy here, but not pop the Berry Juice, as that will put it in range of a lot of things and just kind of open stuff up. So it's not even the worst. Charmander's never meant to be true sweeper this game. He's more just meant to potentially annoy one or two things. So I'm actually going to click Thunder Punch, essentially just to try to get a pair chance in here as well. Luckily, we are not going to get that because that would be very cheesy. But it puts it at 72. Stealth Rock was kind of what I was expecting first turn. It was either that or Rock Blast, obviously. But I was expecting them to want to put up rocks. Team has no clearing. Just putting up rocks makes sense when I have a Geode in the bag. So from here, we're sitting here, and I'm going, if I Dragon Dance, Brick Break has a chance to kill. If you either low roll on Rock Blast, because you need 3 hits on Rock Blast to take me out with the Berry Juice, or if you miss Rock Blast. So we are going to try to Dragon Dance. Obviously, it is greedy, as I'll get out. They are going to hit Rock Blast. We're going to go back. They're going to hit Rock Blast, and they are going to get third. So Charmander goes down. Didn't really necessarily do its job, but it was fine. It took enough out of Bonsley. Charmander was never the win con, so that's where we're at. Oddish comes in. Oddish is sub, Trailblaze, Leaf Storm, and Strength Zap, of course. So we are going to go for the Trailblaze right away. I want to be faster than things and do kinds of stuff. Oh no, I go first sub right away. I apologize. I went first sub. So I get Trailblaze and other things. Volt Switch is not going to break that sub. No. So we do Trailblaze. Good. I believe we Trailblaze again. I was expecting this to be physical, and it was not, which makes sense for the Oddish. I believe from here, we do try to play a little game. So I can Strength Zap, get back to full. Air Slash doesn't kill me from full, but it does do a lot. So by subbing here, I'm essentially playing, seeing if you'll miss an Air Slash in the next couple before I swap out, because you are just out of a Leaf Storm range and in the Trailblaze. They do miss. We can out Trailblaze, which is great. Pull it into Leaf Storm range, which is awesome. At this point, I made a mistake. So I just see this, full honesty. I see Leaf Storm's now a kill. I go to take my kill. That was as much train of thought that went into this. Immediately, my brain went, that invites in Esper, which is in a real scary spot once Oddish is at -2, right? So in reality, I probably should have Strength Zapped and subbed to try to get another situation where I have a sub up. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So just to see if they were going to miss another, whatever. So Esper comes in. I'm going to swap out. That's very scary. Giving Ghost should live one of everything and then put some pressure, and then we'll do some shenanigans here. If they had Nasty Plotted, I probably would have gone for the Shadow Ball. But because they didn't, we did go for Power Gem just in case the Tandem wanted to come in. Shadow Ball's pretty obvious and everything there. So, and it will do the damage we kind of need to put Esper in range of a lot of stuff, or Tandem as well. Instead, it's going to be Tad Ball. We'll do a good little chunk to it. It doesn't tell me much. We'll do a second one. Gimme Goal's not coming in and out, I don't think. Gimme Goal has been pretty disappointing this season. It does put pressure, but so many things have Sucker and whatnot, including this could have had Sucker, which would have been bad, but and all that kind of good stuff. So we are just going to put some damage down. It is going to go down to a Volt Switch. So they're going to go Tandemos. Geodude is my counter for Tandemos, so we're going to go ahead and put in here. Geodude does have Rocky Helmet. It does have rocks as well. So we're going to try to put, it is not a rock polish, do note, because I probably would have loved a rock polish here otherwise, but we're going to go ahead and put up rocks just for some perpetual damage. Ducklet was the clearing, and it's no longer around, so no harm, no foul there. You're going to see that Life Orb Tandemos does too much damage, but takes some chip. We're going to put that Stealth Rock up. Tadbulb is coming in. So, oh, that's why. Live, I thought this was Boots for a second, because I didn't see it take Stealth Rock damage here. That's because it was on the field before Stealth Rock, coach. Alright, so I figured out what I was being silly about there. That will come into play more later. We're going to go into Oddish. I'm really seeking for a chance to get a Strength Zap up, basically. I didn't think they'd Volt Switch. That was a good play. They did a really smart move there to get momentum. This is one of the key moments of the game. Esper comes in for clear. Esper with Nasty Plot took me to the cleaners and back in the first week game. So the thought process here is I can't let this Nasty Plot for free. They are working really well at not giving me a chance to get a Strength Zap off with this Oddish. As much as Oddish has been my absolute legend this season, I think I have to be a little more aggressive on the Nasty Plot end and go for the Trailblaze that I could then go into Leaf Storm on. Or be in position to Strength Zap if they try to make a double or something. Like I could sack Geodude. I do kind of still want Geodude around because Tandemos is still here. And it does have Sucker for Esper. So if they go straight for Psychic, it's kind of bad. I don't want to put any damage on LGM or Psyduck because those are probably what I need to clean with. One of the two. We don't know which one yet. Maybe we need both. So as much as Oddish is good, it's not going to win me this game. And if they go for Nasty Plot, I can then take it out with a Leaf Storm after and put that pressure on. Sure enough, what we see is Nasty Plot, Trailblaze, and I'm going to get a Leaf Storm KO here on the next turn. They said they didn't calc it. Probably should have calc it. We all get in that spot when things happen. Tabo comes in now and takes rock damage. And I'm a little confused. And I didn't properly assess the threat that Scarf Tadbolt could be. I hadn't really noticed it hadn't done anything, but I noticed it hadn't Volt Switch, but I hadn't thought about the possibility being choiced with too high of a level here. So we do make maybe a mistake. I think going into Jude is a play here because I don't think you're going to Chilling Water into this Oddish because I don't think it would have killed, but I didn't even calc it, to be honest. I just went for Strength Tap. I thought at this point I outsped everything, and I except for Speed Tie on Tandemos. So actually, no, I went for Trailblaze, so I wouldn't be a Speed Tie with Tandemos if it came in after. But unfortunately, they are going to take me in with a Hyper Voice. So good job, Oddish, but you're down now. Judo comes in. We're going to Sucker Punch. Definitely thought about Earthquaking there and taking the 30% damage. But I'm not Bear Juice on this or anything, which would have made that better play. I figured you were staying in, not saving it with how low it is, and now that it's pretty obvious it's Scarf and everything. So we decided to Sucker. We get that. Maybe a misplay. I don't know. Not the safe play, but obviously the right play in the hindsight. Megatyler comes in. I just need to chip this enough to put it in range of things, which is about 70%. So I'm just going to fire off an Earthquake. I have a good amount of speed in Geodude to outspeed some of the slower stuff. Drain Punch is going to get it back a little, but then Rocky Helmet's going to put it in range where I feel comfortable. LGM's going to come in. Obviously pressures this with a Psychic. I am Agility, Recover, Signal Beam, and Psychic with a Violate. So I'm pretty bulky. I can take a knockoff. If I Agility, I'm faster than Tandemos. We've already seen its Life Orb, but it's not Scarf. I will take out the Bonsly. Charmander did a job of putting it in range where I can do things like that. And Makuhita is in range. If it Drain Punches, it's still in range. We're pretty sure. So we're going to go ahead and Psychic. Or Agility, sorry. I misspoke. Knockoff comes out. This point I start to think, what are the outs here? So Bonsly Sucker could be a problem. Definitely an issue. And do I want to try to recover on this? Now that I've lost my item and I'm taking less from Knockoff. Which it also could have Feint or Bullet Punch, which I do live both of, even without the Violate. But it's kind of the situation I'm in, and I think I decided it was better off to try, if it was Sucker, to try to recover on the Bonsly. This absolutely could have been a bit of a shenanigans, but so we're just going to click Psychic. They do win a Bonsly first, so I am able to fire off a Psychic here. And then we do outspeed the Tandemos. We do fire off a Psychic here. And then Makuhita is going to come in. It doesn't even have Fake Out shenanigans or anything like that. Fake Out in a Bullet Punch. So it is going to drop here. And LGM finally sees the battlefield for a couple seconds. It feels like it has barely seen the field, but it's always been ready to go pretty much the whole season. And it does pick up a little clean here with the agility set, which is awesome. Sidehug did not hit the field, and I left it behind in the first matchup with Megatyler. So poor Sidehug has just been sitting here against Megatyler like LGM has the rest of the season. But we do pick up a win. We do go to finals. A good game here, honestly. If we hadn't got beat so bad in the first game, I don't think we win this one. But it worked out well. The Leaf Storm, to get the extra damage we need in those situations, worked out quite well. Obviously, agility, LGM worked out quite well. I debated quite a few sets for it. Geodude worked and did what it needed to do. Charmander did what it needed to do for Bonsly to get in range. Gimme Ghoul, did a little bit, chipped down the Tadpole pretty good, and all the good stuff. So we picked up a nice little clean win. One more battle, and then that's probably it for me for leagues for a little bit, unless one of my kind of core leagues starts up again relatively soon, but we will see. But thank you everyone for listening. Have a great day because Coach Oak said so. Goodbye and good night. Bang.